The invitation arrived on a Wednesday afternoon. I was working from home, reviewing contracts for a client, when the mail carrier dropped off the afternoon delivery. Among the bills and catalogs was a cream-colored envelope addressed to Ms. Katherine Hayes. My maiden name, not the name I'd used for the past 4 years. Katherine Hayes-Morgan. That was my name now. Had been since I married Sophie. But my family still addressed everything to Katherine Hayes. As if refusing to acknowledge her last name would make my marriage less real. I opened the envelope. Inside was a formal invitation printed on expensive cardstock. Richard Hayes requests the pleasure of your company for his 65th birthday celebration. Saturday, November 4th, 7 p.m. Riverside Country Club. Below the printed text in my mother's precise handwriting. Katherine, please come alone. Your wife makes everyone uncomfortable. This is a family event. Mom. I read it 3 times. Come alone. Your wife makes everyone uncomfortable. I'd been married to Sophie for 4 years. Together for 7. And my family still called her your wife in that particular tone. Never Sophie. Never your spouse, or your partner. Always your wife, with the emphasis that made it sound like an accusation. I walked upstairs to Sophie's office. She was on a video call, probably with the board. She was always in meetings with someone. As the youngest board member of 3 major companies and the CEO of her own investment firm, she was constantly in demand. I waited until she finished, watching her through the glass door. Sophie Morgan was objectively stunning. Tall, elegant, brilliant. Dark hair, sharp cheekbones, the kind of presence that made rooms go quiet when she entered. She'd built a $200 million investment firm from scratch, sat on the boards of a hospital, a museum, and the largest country club in the state. She was successful, accomplished, respected by everyone who knew her. Everyone except my family. She ended the call and looked up, saw my face. What's wrong? I handed her the invitation. She read it. Her expression didn't change, but I saw her jaw tighten. Well, that's direct. I'm so sorry. Don't apologize for them, Kate. You didn't write this. I know, but... Are you going? Of course not. I already texted my mother. Said we wouldn't be attending. Sophie set the invitation down carefully. You said we. You could go without me. If you want to see your father on his birthday. I'm not going anywhere without you. Kate, I don't want to be the reason you're estranged from your family. You're not the reason. Their bigotry is the reason. Their inability to accept that I'm gay is the reason. Their refusal to treat my wife with basic respect is the reason. You're just the person I love who happens to be affected by their bullshit. She smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. For years. You'd think they'd adjust. They'll never adjust. They're waiting for me to come to my senses. To leave you and marry a man and give them grandchildren and pretend this was all a phase. Is it a phase? He was joking, trying to lighten the mood. Absolutely. Any day now I'll wake up and suddenly be attracted to men. It's how sexuality works, obviously. She laughed and I sat on her desk. I'm sorry they're like this. I know. But Kate, I need you to understand something. I don't need your family's approval. I don't need them to like me. But I do need you to stand up for us. For our marriage. For what we have. I'm standing up for us. I said no. You said we won't attend. Did you tell them why? I hesitated. Kate, did you tell them that excluding me is unacceptable? That their behavior is homophobic? That you won't tolerate this treatment? I said we wouldn't be coming. That's not the same thing. I know. You're right. I'll text again. I pulled out my phone and typed, to be clear, I'm not coming because you excluded my wife. Your homophobia is not acceptable, and I won't participate in events that disrespect my marriage. My mother's response came within minutes. Don't be dramatic. It's not about that. Sophie is just different. She makes people uncomfortable. Me, she makes you uncomfortable because she's a woman I'm married to. That's literally homophobia. Mom, we're not homophobic. We love you. We just think you're making a mistake. Marriage is between a man and a woman. That's what we believe. Me, then you're homophobic. And I'm done having this conversation. Mom, your father is very hurt that you won't come to his birthday. Me, he should be hurt that he excluded my spouse. I showed Sophie the exchange. She read it and sighed. You know they'll never change. I know. And you're okay with that? Being estranged from them? I'm okay with choosing you over people who don't respect us. Every time. She kissed me. I love you. I love you too. My phone buzzed again. Dad, this time. Katherine, this is ridiculous. Your mother told me you're not coming because of Sophie. This is my 65th birthday. Family should be there. Stop being difficult and just come to the party. Sophie will be fine for one night without you. I typed back. I'm married to Sophie. We're a package deal. If she's not welcome, I'm not welcome. Dad, fine. Don't come. Maybe you'll learn some family values. Family values. The phrase they always used. As if loving my wife was somehow opposed to family values. I didn't respond. That evening, Sophie was quieter than usual. We cooked dinner together, our Wednesday night tradition, but she was distracted. What are you thinking about? I asked. Your father's party. I'm not going. We already decided. I know. But Kate, they're your family. And I don't want to be the reason you lose them. You're not. I am. If you were married to a man, you'd be going to this party. Your family would welcome you. You'd have a relationship with them. Because of me, you don't. Because of their homophobia, I don't. That's not the same thing. Isn't it? From their perspective, you chose me over them. I chose love and authenticity over bigotry and pretense. I'd make that choice 1,000 times. She set down her knife. Your father's party is at Riverside Country Club. I know. I'm on the board there. I know that too. I could make some calls. Make sure they're treated well. Make sure the party goes smoothly. Sophie, no. You don't owe them anything. I owe you a wife who doesn't cause problems with your family. You don't cause problems. They cause problems. There's a difference. But she had that look in her eyes. The one she got when she was planning something. 2 days before my father's party, I was in a meeting with a client when my phone started buzzing. I ignored it. He called 3 more times. Finally, I excused myself and called him back. Katherine, what did you do? He was furious. More furious than I'd ever heard him. What are you talking about? The country club. They called me this morning. My membership has been revoked. 30 years I've been a member and they're kicking me out. Why would they do that? That's what I want to know. They said it was a board decision. They won't give me details. Just that my membership is terminated effective immediately. Dad, I don't know anything about this. Don't lie to me. Your wife is on that board. Did you put her up to this? Is this revenge because we didn't invite her to my party? I didn't. And they canceled my party. The venue is no longer available. 2 days before. Do you know how that makes me look? I've invited 60 people. The invitations went out weeks ago. And now I have to tell everyone the party is canceled because my daughter's wife got me kicked out of my own country club. I need to call you back. I hung up and immediately called Sophie. She answered on the first ring. Did you revoke my father's country club membership? Yes. Sophie, why would you do that? Because he's a bigot. And I'm tired of watching him hurt you. But, Kate, listen to me. I'm on the board of directors at Riverside. I proposed we revoke memberships for anyone engaging in discriminatory behavior. The board agreed. Your father's exclusion of me from his party, explicitly because I'm a woman married to his daughter, qualifies as discriminatory behavior. You did this for me? I did this because it was the right thing to do. The country club has anti-discrimination policies. Your father violated them. Actions have consequences. He's going to blame me. Let him. He's been blaming you for being gay for years. This is no different. He said the venue is cancelled too? There was a pause. About that. Sophie. I may have mentioned to the venue management that hosting a party for someone who was just removed from the club for discriminatory behavior would reflect poorly on their establishment. You got his party cancelled? I suggested they reconsider the booking. They made their own decision. Sophie. Are you angry? I thought about it. Was I angry? My father had spent 4 years refusing to acknowledge my marriage. Had spent 4 years making Sophie feel unwelcome. Had just sent me an invitation that explicitly excluded my wife because she made him uncomfortable. No, I said finally. I'm not angry. I'm actually impressed. And a little scared of you. She laughed. Don't be scared. I only use my powers for good. This is going to make everything worse with my family. Things were already bad, Kate. This is just making the bad visible. My phone didn't stop ringing for the rest of the day. Dad called 6 more times. Mom called. My brother Eric called. My sister Amanda called. Aunts, uncles, family, friends. Everyone wanted to know what happened. I let them all go to voicemail. That evening, Sophie came home with Chinese takeout and a bottle of wine. Rough day. You could say that. My entire family is furious. At you. At both of us. But mostly at you. Good. They should be furious at me. I'm the one who got your father kicked out of his country club. And cancelled his party. She agreed. Which, for the record, I don't regret. Tell me something. The venue he booked. Do you really have influence there? She smiled. I own it. You what? I own the venue. Riverside Gardens. I bought it 2 years ago as an investment property. When your father booked it for his party, I was displeased. So you cancelled it? I suggested to my event manager that we were under no obligation to host events for people who'd been removed from associated clubs for discriminatory behavior. The manager agreed. Your father's party was cancelled. You own the venue where my father wanted to have his birthday party. I own 17 event venues across the state. The odds were pretty good he'd choose one of mine. 17. My investment firm specializes in hospitality and event properties. We own hotels, wedding venues, conference centers. It's a $200 million portfolio. I knew you were successful. I didn't know you were that successful. There's a lot you don't know about my business dealings, Kate. I keep work separate from home. So my father's party was cancelled because he booked a venue owned by the woman he refused to invite to his party. Ironic, isn't it? That's one word for it. He poured us both wine. Are you upset with me? For standing up for us? For holding my father accountable? No. I'm not upset. But I'm worried about what comes next. My family isn't going to let this go. Let them not let it go. Kate, they've been disrespecting you for 4 years. They've been disrespecting me for 4 years. They've been disrespecting our marriage. At some point, consequences have to happen. I know. You're right. But you wish I'd talked to you first? Maybe. I don't know. Part of me is glad you did this. Part of me is terrified of the fallout. The fallout is already here, Kate. It's been here since you came out. Since you married me. Your family has been in fallout mode for years. This is just making it official. The next morning, my mother showed up at our door. Sophie answered. I need to speak with my daughter. Good morning to you too, Helen. Don't. Just get Katherine. I came to the door. Mom, what are you doing here? What am I doing here? What are you doing? Do you have any idea what you've done to your father? I haven't done anything. Your wife got him kicked out of his country club. Cancelled his birthday party. Humiliated him in front of all his friends. My wife held him accountable for discriminating against her. Discriminating? We're not discriminating. We just don't agree with your lifestyle. Mom, I'm gay. That's not a lifestyle. And excluding my spouse from family events because you don't agree with my marriage is literally discrimination. We have a right to our beliefs. And Sophie has a right to enforce anti-discrimination policies at organizations she's on the board of. This is vindictive. This is cruel. Sophie stepped forward. Mrs. Hayes, your husband sent an invitation to his birthday party that explicitly excluded me. He said I make people uncomfortable. The only reason I make him uncomfortable is because I'm a woman married to his daughter. That's homophobia. And I don't tolerate homophobia. You don't get to decide what is and isn't acceptable. This is our family. No, Sophie said calmly. This is Kate's family. I'm Kate's family. And I protect my family. Your husband has spent 4 years disrespecting your daughter and disrespecting our marriage. I've been patient. I've been polite. I've attended events where I was ignored, excluded from conversations, treated like I don't exist. I'm done being patient. So you ruined his birthday? You cost him his country club membership? That's your solution. My solution is consequences. Your husband discriminated against me. The country club has anti-discrimination policies. He violated those policies. He was removed. Cause and effect. You're destroying our family. Your homophobia is destroying your family. I'm just making sure there are consequences for it. My mother turned to me. Katherine, are you really going to let her do this? Are you really going to choose her over your own father? Every time, I said quietly. Every single time. Because Sophie treats me with love and respect. Because Sophie sees me as a whole person. Because Sophie doesn't think my sexuality is a phase or a choice or a problem to be solved. So yes, Mom. I choose her. Over you, over Dad, over anyone who asks me to pretend my marriage isn't real. Then you're not welcome in this family anymore. Good. Because I don't want to be part of a family that doesn't welcome my wife. She left. Slammed the door behind her. Sophie and I stood in the entryway processing what just happened. Are you okay? Sophie asked. I think so. That was a long time coming. I'm sorry. Don't be. You were right. Consequences had to happen. And I'm tired of protecting people who hurt me. She hugged me and I let myself cry. Not because I regretted it. But because even when your family is toxic, losing them still hurts. Over the next week, the situation escalated. My father found another venue for his party, a hotel banquet room. He moved the date back a week to give people time to adjust. Sent out new invitations to all 60 guests. 3 days before the rescheduled party, the hotel called him. They were canceling his booking. No explanation given, just a refund and an apology for the inconvenience. He tried 4 more venues. All of them mysteriously became unavailable within days of booking. He called me angrier than ever. She's blacklisting me. Your wife is calling every venue in the city and getting me banned. I'll ask her. I asked Sophie. She looked up from her laptop. I'm not blacklisting him. I'm simply letting my professional network know that Richard Hayes has been removed from Riverside Country Club for discriminatory behavior. What they do with that information is up to them. So you're not directly canceling his bookings? I don't need to. Most event venues have anti-discrimination policies. Most don't want to be associated with people who've been removed from clubs for bigotry. I'm just providing information. They're making their own decisions. That's still blacklisting. Is it? Or is it natural consequences? Your father's behavior has made him radioactive in the events industry. That's on him. He's never going to forgive us. Good. I don't want his forgiveness. I want him to understand that his homophobia has real consequences. That he can't treat you like this without repercussions. What if he never has a party? What if he can't find anywhere to celebrate his 65th birthday? Then he'll know what it feels like to be excluded. To be told he's not welcome. To have to watch other people celebrate while he's shut out. Sound familiar? It did sound familiar. It sounded like every family event for the past 4 years. Every Christmas where Sophie sat at the end of the table ignored. Every Thanksgiving where my parents introduced her as Katherine's friend. Every birthday and anniversary where we received separate invitations. You're right, I said. He deserves this. I'm not doing this to be cruel, Kate. I'm doing it because nothing else has worked. Patience didn't work. Politeness didn't work. Trying to win them over didn't work. The only thing left is consequences. 2 weeks later, my father finally found a venue willing to host his party. A small restaurant in a neighboring town. He'd had to scale back the guest list from 60 to 30. Half the people he'd invited had declined, not wanting to be associated with the drama. The party happened. I heard about it from my brother Eric, who called me the next day. It was awful, Kate. Dad was miserable the whole time. Half the people didn't show up. The venue was tiny and depressing. Mom cried in the bathroom. Uncle Bob made a speech about family values and everyone got uncomfortable. It was a disaster. I'm sorry to hear that. Are you? Because Sophie destroyed Dad's birthday. She destroyed his reputation. People are talking about him being kicked out of the country club. His business connections are treating him differently. This is affecting his whole life. Maybe he should have thought about that before he excluded my wife from his party. Kate. It was just one party. It wasn't just one party, Eric. It was 4 years of excluding her. 4 years of treating our marriage like it doesn't exist. 4 years of homophobia and disrespect. The party was just the final straw. So you're okay with what Sophie did? Getting him kicked out of his club? Blacklisting him from venues? ruining his 65th birthday. Yes. I'm okay with it. Because for 4 years I tried the gentle approach. I tried to be understanding. I tried to give them time to adjust. And nothing changed. They kept hurting me. Kept disrespecting Sophie. So yes, I'm okay with consequences finally happening. You've changed, Kate. You used to care about family. I still care about family. That's why I'm protecting my wife. She's my family now. He hung up. 3 months later, things had settled into a new normal. I had no contact with my parents. My brother Eric occasionally texted trying to play mediator, but I'd asked him to stop. My sister Amanda had taken our parents' side completely and wouldn't speak to me. I was effectively cut off from my entire family. And I was okay. Sophie and I had dinner one night at her favorite restaurant. We were celebrating the anniversary of our first date, 7 years together. Any regrets? She asked. About what? About your family. About how everything went down. I thought about it. Really thought about it. Did I regret standing up for my marriage? Did I regret Sophie's actions? Did I regret the consequences that had fallen on my father? No, I said finally. No regrets. I wish they'd been different people. I wish they'd been capable of accepting me. But they weren't. And I'm not going to spend my life apologizing for being gay or for marrying the woman I love. Even if it means losing them? Even then. Because Sophie, what I'd lose if I chose them would be worse. I'd lose myself. I'd lose my integrity. I'd lose you. And you're worth more than a family who can't accept me for who I am. She reached across the table and took my hand. I love you. I love you too. And for the record, I don't regret it either. Getting your father kicked out of the club, canceling his party, all of it. He deserved consequences. And I'd do it again. I know. That's one of the things I love about you. You don't tolerate bullshit. Damn right I don't. We finished dinner and drove home. As we pulled into our driveway, I saw a car parked outside our house. My mother's car. Want me to handle this? Sophie asked. No. I'll talk to her. Mom got out of her car as we parked. She looked smaller than I remembered. Older. Tired. Katherine, can we talk? What do you want, Mom? I want to apologize. That surprised me. Apologize for what? For everything. For not accepting you. For excluding Sophie. For the invitation. For all of it. Sophie and I exchanged glances. Why now? I asked. Because I've had 3 months to think about what happened. About how we treated you. About what we lost. What you lost. What about what I lost? You're right. What you lost. Your family. Your father and I were so focused on our beliefs that we didn't see what we were doing to you. Your beliefs. You mean your homophobia? She flinched. Yes. Our homophobia. I've started seeing a therapist. Someone who specializes in helping parents of LGBTQ children. And she's helped me understand that our treatment of you was wrong. That our beliefs were hurting you. Are you still homophobic? I'm working on it. I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to change. But Katherine, I need you to know, I love you. I've always loved you. I just didn't know how to show it in a way that honored who you really are. I didn't know what to say. Sophie spoke up. Mrs. Hayes, I appreciate you coming here. I appreciate you apologizing. But Kate has been hurt deeply by your family. By your actions and your beliefs. An apology is a start, but it's not enough. I know. That's why I wanted to ask. Can we try? Can we start over? Can I get to know you, Sophie? Really know you? Can I try to be the mother Katherine deserves? That's up to Kate, Sophie said, looking at me. I looked at my mother. At the woman who'd raised me but couldn't accept me. Who'd loved me but couldn't see me. Who just apologized but might not really change. I need time, I said finally. I need to see if you're serious about changing. I need more than words. What do you need? I need you to go to therapy. Keep going. Work on your beliefs. Read books about LGBTQ people. Learn about our community. And then maybe in a few months we can talk again. A few months. Mom, you spent 4 years hurting me. I need more than one apology and a few weeks of therapy to trust you again. She nodded. Fair. That's fair. Can I ask one thing? What? Your father. He's struggling. His business has been affected by being removed from the club. His reputation is damaged. He's depressed. Can you ask Sophie to, I don't know, make it stop? Sophie answered before I could. No. Please. He's suffering. Good. He should suffer. He discriminated against me. Against his own daughter. He excluded us from his life. Now he knows what that feels like. But he's learned his lesson. He's sorry. Then he can call Kate himself and apologize. But I'm not lifting the consequences. Your husband needs to understand that homophobia isn't free. That his beliefs hurt people. And that there are repercussions for that. You're so harsh. I'm fair. Your husband was harsh. I'm just holding him accountable. Mom looked at me. Katherine. She's my wife, Mom. I support her decisions. Even when those decisions hurt your father? Dad's hurt is self-inflicted. He chose bigotry over his daughter. Now he's living with that choice. Mom got back in her car. Before she drove away, she rolled down the window. I do love you, Katherine. And I will work on this. I will try to be better. I hope you do. But I'm not holding my breath. 6 months later, Dad called me. It was the first time I'd heard from him since the country club incident. Katherine. It's your father. I know. I'd like to talk. Face to face. Can you meet me for coffee? Why? Because I owe you an apology. A real one. Not over the phone. I met him at a coffee shop the next week. Sophie didn't come. I needed to do this alone. Dad looked older. Grayer. He'd lost weight. He looked, in a word, humbled. Thank you for meeting me. What did you want to say? I'm sorry. For the invitation. For excluding Sophie. For 4 years of making you feel like your marriage didn't matter. For being a terrible father. Okay. Your mother's been in therapy. She's been working on accepting you. And I've been watching her change. And I realized I needed to change too. So you're in therapy now? Yes. Same therapist. And Katherine, I need you to know I was wrong. About everything. About thinking your sexuality was a choice. About thinking your marriage was less valid than a heterosexual marriage. About treating Sophie like she didn't exist. I was wrong. Why did it take you this long to realize that? Because I was stubborn. And scared. And convinced that my beliefs were more important than my relationship with my daughter. And now I've lost my country club membership. I've been blacklisted from half the venues in the city. My business has suffered. My reputation is damaged. And I've spent 6 months being excluded from things. Being treated like I don't matter. Being shut out. So you only understand because it happened to you. Yes. I know that's not great. I know I should have understood without experiencing it. But I didn't. And I'm sorry. What do you want from me? I want a chance. A chance to know Sophie. A chance to be part of your life again. A chance to be the father you deserved all along. That's a lot to ask. I know. But I'm asking anyway. I sipped my coffee. Here's what I need from you. I need you to apologize to Sophie. Directly. Look her in the eye and tell her you were wrong. I can do that. I need you to come to our house for dinner. And treat Sophie with respect. Ask her about her work. Her life. Her interests. Actually get to know her. I'd like that. And I need you to understand that if you ever exclude her again, we're done. Permanently. No second chances. I understand. Do you? Because Dad, I love Sophie more than I love anyone in the world. More than I love you. And if you make me choose, I'll choose her every time. I know. And I don't want you to have to choose. I want to be in both of your lives. Then prove it. Show me you've changed. Don't just tell me. Dinner was awkward. Of course it was. My parents came to our house. The first time they'd ever visited. My father looked around at our home at the evidence of our life together, and I saw something shift in his face. This is a beautiful home. Thank you, Sophie said. We've been here 3 years. 3 years. And I've never visited. No, you haven't. I'm sorry for that. Dinner was slow. Careful. My parents asked Sophie about her work, her background, her interests. They listened when she talked. They treated her like a person, not an inconvenience. It wasn't perfect. But it was a start. At the end of the night, my father stood to leave. He looked at Sophie. I owe you an apology. A direct one. Not through Katherine. From me to you. I'm listening. I'm sorry. For excluding you. For treating you like you didn't exist. For being a bigot. You didn't deserve that. Katherine didn't deserve that. And I'm going to spend the rest of my life trying to make it right. Thank you for saying that. And I'm sorry for the country club membership thing. Sophie smiled. I'm not. Fair enough. I deserved that. You did. Can I ask, is there any way to fix it? To get my membership back? You'd have to petition the board. Show evidence of personal growth. Take anti-discrimination training. Write a formal apology. Would you support my petition? If you do the work. Yes. But Richard, it's going to take more than a few dinners and an apology. You're going to have to prove you've changed. I will. I promise. A year later, we celebrated my father's 66th birthday. The whole family was there, Mom, Dad, Eric, Amanda, Sophie, and me. We celebrated at Riverside Gardens, the venue Sophie owned. The one Dad had originally booked for his 65th birthday. Sophie had arranged everything. She'd even renewed Dad's country club membership after he completed 6 months of diversity training and wrote a formal apology to the board. During dinner, Dad stood up to give a speech. Last year was the worst birthday of my life. I'd alienated my daughter. I'd been kicked out of my country club. I'd lost the respect of my peers. And it was all my own fault. He looked at me. Katherine, I'm sorry for what I put you through. 4 years of making you feel like you weren't enough. 4 years of treating your wife like she didn't matter. I was wrong. Completely, thoroughly wrong. He looked at Sophie. And Sophie, thank you. For not letting me get away with it. For holding me accountable. For forcing me to change when I was too stubborn to change on my own. You're the best thing that ever happened to my daughter. And I'm grateful she found you. He raised his glass. To family. The one we're born with and the one we choose. May we all be worthy of the people who love us. We toasted. And for the first time in years I felt like I had my family back. Not the family that had rejected me. But a new family. One that had learned. One that had grown. One that finally saw me and Sophie for who we really were. It wasn't perfect. There were still awkward moments. Still things that needed work. Still years of damage that couldn't be undone overnight. But it was progress. Real, honest, hard-won progress. And sometimes progress was enough. Sophie squeezed my hand under the table. You okay? Yeah. I'm good. No regrets. About standing up for us? Never. About giving them a second chance? But I'm hopeful. Me too. And sitting there at my father's 66th birthday party, in the venue my wife owned, surrounded by a family that had finally learned to accept us, I felt something I hadn't felt in years. I felt like I belonged. Not because I'd changed to fit their expectations, but because they'd finally changed to accept my reality. And that made all the difference.